Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and today we are going to review Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I really enjoyed this film. This film was probably one of my favorite Spider-Man films. I loved all the characters that they had in this. Of course, Spider-Man to Miles Morales Spider-Man to Spider-Gwen to Spider-Man Noir, right there, Spider-Man Noir, SPDR, and Spider-Ham. They all blended very nicely into this film, and I think they were all welcome additions to this film. Now, of course, I really liked how this was more of an origin story for Miles, how he actually had to kind of learn how to be a Spider-Man. He's, of course, getting trained by a Spider-Man who's kind of just done. He's not really enjoying it as much as he used to, and, you can kind of tell that. And he's kind of training him, and I kind of like how this film may have had all these Spider-Men. Good origin film for Miles. One thing I can say about this film, though, is the animation was so well done. It felt like I was actually watching a comic book. With all the vibrant colors, to even the comic panels, like the thought bubbles and the little words that, like thwop and thwip and, that kind of stuff. It was there, and then you got, like, his inner thoughts all around him. This movie looked like it took a comic book and turned it into a movie, and I loved it. Now, of course, I can also say, though, this film also had a pretty good voice cast. I think they all was very well cast, and I liked it. I liked every single moment. It made me laugh at times, and also made me really just enjoy watching all the comic booky colors and words and all that come together. Now, of course, let's talk about the villain. The main villain, Kingpin. I didn't really enjoy that villain. He was, of course, just building this interdimensional thing to get another set of his wife and kid who have died, and he's trying to replace them in a way, which I thought was a very good motive for why he's doing it. But honestly, my favorite villain now, and there was a lot in this film, is the surprise villain. If you don't want to know it, skip about 30 seconds. Dr. Octavius. And, Doc Ock. Was in it, and this was a very well done version of Doc Ock. It was a little different than the one we've seen before, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I would really recommend Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's a fun time. It has some really good action in there, and it also has a really good story. And honestly, they did a great job crafting a Spider-Man film for animation. It's whatever you wanted in a Spider-Man film. It has really cool comic book elements, and it was just fun. I wasn't really bored. I wasn't really zoned out. That's a sign of a really good movie, and I enjoyed every single moment of watching it. Now, and I will tell you, though, there is a post-credit scene to this film which I enjoyed. It was very hilarious, and stay tuned for that one when you're watching it, because it's worth it. So let's say what my favorite moment of this film is. Probably my favorite moment of the film was when he was they're first going into this kind of building to get the little device that would stop the collider, and Miles had a cape on, and the other Spider-Man was like, Spider-Man does not wear a cape. And then later on, he rips it off, but later on in the movie, there's a Spider-Man costume with a cape. I just liked how they connected those two. Also, Spider-Man Noir. I just enjoyed him in this film, especially when he said, when he was kind of just talking in some of his dialogue. It was a great. And Spider-Ham. I enjoyed him a lot more than I thought I would. Especially because Spider-Ham to me was like, really? You're adding Spider-Ham. Okay, let's see how this goes. And the last thing I'll say about this movie is it is packed full of references. I was always looking when I was watching this film like, wait, they did that? And like all those costumes, like, wait, is that costume and that costume? I really enjoyed looking through them and trying to figure out what all these costumes were, and especially when I see it again, I'm going to kind of keep looking for what those costumes were and try to catch all the references, because there's a lot of them, and they did a great job with it. So yeah, I would give Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse a 10 out of 10. Well, that's it for tonight. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.